Hi guys, so today we are going to make a cute little zine. I'm going to show you how to make these. They are so fun and super simple to make. This will be yours for this month. It says be yourself. That's how it starts out with. And it's just filled with all sorts of things. So you fill it in, so I am. So you write down all the things that you are. And then it has a quote that says don't let life ruffle your feathers, and there's a stamp of a feather and then some washi tape. And then share your story, so you can write a little bit about your story. Spread your wings, because that's important that we all realize that we have wings. And then this says I can and I will, so you can write down your dreams there. And then finally I did a month in review. Okay, and then on the end it says life is better when you're laughing. Okay, and it's just a cute little fun printable that you guys will get every month that I'm super excited to share with you, and I really love it. They're inspirational little zines for you guys every month for you to have a good time with. Okay, so let's begin by making it. I will also post this part of the video on YouTube, but if you are watching this and you're not one of my patrons, you will not get the creation part in real time. It'll be fast forwarded through. That's a special benefit for my patrons. Okay, so I am working on a piece of cardstock, standard size. So let's see what that is exactly. Let me show you here. So it is 1 1.5. Okay, so it's 11 by, and it should be 8.5, but sometimes it's off, by 8.5. Okay, and it's just a regular sheet of cardstock that I got from Michael's, probably, most likely Michael's. Okay, so what you're going to do is you'll turn it so it's lengthwise. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and line it up against that edge, and you want to make sure that before you crease it, that it is very well lined up. I do recommend that you use a bone folder. If you don't have one, just use something that you can make a really good crease with, like the edge of your scissors or something like that. But it is fairly important that you start it out right. So I go right in the middle here, okay, and I just kind of do a soft kind of fold it first, and then I go back with that, and I really burnish it to make sure that that crease is right. Okay, and I'm even going to turn it over and see if I did a good job, which I think I did. I think it's pretty much lined up, but we can turn it over, see. I think it looks good. Okay, just like that. Alright, okay. And I have a bunch of stuff on my desk because I just got done making the zine. I wanted to see if I could do it first. It's super simple. Okay, then you're going to open it up, and I like to take, then you're going to do it hamburger style. So you do it hot dog style first, and then you're going to do it hamburger style. Okay, so again, we're going to take it all the way to the edges, make sure that it's nice and lined up. Okay, make sure it's lined up right against the edge there. Okay, we're going to do a soft fold at first, okay? And I think I'm pretty much straight, so I'm going to go ahead and crease. Make sure that it's nice and tight, and then we can turn it over and see. It looks really good to me. Okay, so now we're going to do the next part. So now you have it hamburger style, right? So you're going to take this end and put it to this center fold. Okay. So basically we're making a book out of one sheet of paper. Just like that. Okay. And these are super fun to make. Okay, just like that. So you have it like that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other end. Just make sure you know that it's pretty well lined up. I think it's good. I think it's right in that crease. And we'll do the same thing here. So make sure that it's nice and lined up, nice and straight. Make sure those corners match, the middle matches. And if you wanted to, you could score this too. I'm not, that crazy though. I do want it to be straight, but it doesn't have to be. It's not that serious. Okay, but I did get it a little bit off there. So we're going to go in and straighten that out a bit. Okay, just like that. Okay, so these are going to be our 8 pages. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half hot dog style. Basically, we have to cut these, we have to cut from this crease to that crease, if that makes sense, right in that center line. Okay, and you could absolutely just use a straight edge and your knife and just cut that, just make a slit. But I like to use scissors. I don't want to get out my straight edge, so I'm going to just do it hamburger style. I turned it over, so it was this way, turn it over, flip it this way, and then you're just going to cut out that center fold. And again, make sure that it's right on the fold when you cut it. So just take your time and make sure you don't go over that line. Okay. You want to go right to that crease, which is good. So it looks like that. Okay. Then you are going to open it up, and now you have a book. So what I do is I go lengthwise first, and what I do is I just kind of lift it up, so I fold it over, and then I let these come out like that. Okay, like so. Alrighty. See? And then you just press it together like that. Alrighty. And you're just going to let it naturally fold the way that it wants to fold. Okay? So I think that mine wants to fold this way. Okay? And it's going to be a little uneven, but don't worry. We will do something to fix that, or, you know, just go with it. It's not the end of the world. I mean, this one, it wasn't so bad with the other paper that I used, but it is bad with this one, and that's okay. Okay? And maybe make that your front, you know, and we will fix it, so don't worry about it too much. Okay? Just like that. Ready? And you have a nice, cute little book. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So that is the basic part of the zine. Okay. Now, what you want to do right now is you want to, and I would just want to show you, you can flip it around the other way and do the same thing, right? So I can flip it open, do it like this, and I can flip it around the other way too. Okay, so just fold it in half. The creases, of course, are going the other way, but you could do it, and you just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. Okay, just like that. Okay, then you have a little book. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark it. Okay, so you want to put just very lightly with a pencil. You could do a sticky note if you want to. And you just want to write front. This is going to be my back. Ready? And this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Okay? So when you open it, you're going to decorate it. Okay? So this is my back and front, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. Okay? Just like that. Alrighty. So now I will let you watch the process. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not watching it on YouTube, then I will continue on and we will begin decorating our zine. Okay, so now you have all that done. We are going to start decorating our zine. Okay, now you can do this in a whole bunch of different ways. What I think I'm going to do is that I am a collage girl. I love collages. I probably am not going to use a lot of wet media on this just because I don't want to, you know, but you could absolutely use like your gel medium, your Mod Podge, all that kind of thing. But I want to use some of this tissue paper. Okay. And I think I'm going to add that first. Or actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my water crayons first. Okay. And you can use kind of whatever water-soluble kind of thing that you have. I'm just using minis, but you could also use like your gelatos, any kind of water-soluble thing. You could even use paint. And normally I would use paint, but I'm trying to use these more, these kind of things. So I think maybe I'm actually going to use my gel sticks and my gelatos. So let's use some of those actually. So I like to kind of have a variety of color in these. So I'm going to use like blues and greens and turquoises on some of it. And then I'm going to use kind of the warm colors on some of it too. And I'm going to get some gold too. Okay. So let's just add some color. That's what we're going to do. Oops. You see here that that's why it wasn't folding down, because I did not get that fold very well. But that's okay, we'll fix it. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just add color quite randomly. And yellow and red will mix together and make orange. I do have an orange one of these, but for some reason it's not working right now. Okay, and I'm just randomly kind of putting color down on everyone. I do want to get some of that pretty peach color. So maybe we'll do that with a little bit of our yellow, mellow yellow. Okay. Alrighty. And then we're going to get into our blues. So let's grab this one. Some of these are metallic, supposedly. But I found a discount on metallic ones, so hopefully you can see the shine. And I'm trying not to cover up my numbers, but as long as I have one or a couple, I'll be fine, I think. We can add a little bit of this green to some of them. And I'm just being quite random. Like, don't lose any sleep over this. This is supposed to be fun, okay? Alrighty. And this one is, I think that's the one that I just used, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's good there. Okay, so now we are going to activate our color. So I just have a water-soluble brush, and I'm going to start out with the red and the yellow first. Okay. And I'm going to go in and just kind of add color. I'll wipe it away. It doesn't have to be completely covered, but it can be. Kind of want light and dark, and it's okay if you get a little bit of those scribble marks. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So I've just kind of accepted it, and I will probably cover it up when we get started. It's probably because I'm not using enough water. That's okay. Just like that. Okay, and we can turn it over. And I really like the contrast of warm and cool, so, but you don't necessarily have to do that. And I don't know why, but I just am not a gel stick kind of gelato girl. I really love paint, but I'm trying to push myself because I just love acrylic paint. I love that it goes on the way that I want, that it looks really cool, so, you know, it's fine. So, it really is. Ooh, I do like that apricot color though. Isn't that pretty? Perfect. That's a pretty color. Okay, so I have orange and yellow and red and all sorts of things. Okay, going on here. Add a little bit more water. And of course, it would behave better if I had gessoed, but I totally was not going to gesso. Was not going to happen. Okay, so let us grab, I'm looking for one of my rags here. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe away that pigment, clean off my brush a bit, and we're going to go into this beautiful green and blue, which I love. This is really pretty. You could have even added some purple in this, and that would have been really pretty too. Very cute. So pretty. Okay, we'll go in. And I do see that metallic sheen. Those are so pretty. And I'm not in love with the red and the yellow going on here. So I do have a pink gelato that a subscriber was gracious enough to send to me because she had an extra pink. So I am going to try it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of that once this dries. So I go ahead and go in and... Oh, but isn't that beautiful? I just love it so much. So pretty. Okay, just like that. That's beautiful. Okay, so let me grab my pink here. This is my only gelato that was given to me as a gift, and it's kind of this pretty hot pink color, so I'm just going to add that. I think it needs something else, some more color in that little color combo there. So we're going to go in, and this, actually, these take a lot more to activate than my router crowns did. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? There we go. Just rough it up a bit. Just like that. Alrighty. Okay, so that is that. I like that better already. And it's kind of like a watercolor kind of look. That's what I want. I don't want it to be as, you know, striking or as rich or saturated that acrylic paints are. And it kind of has that painterly kind of look. Okay. So actually, while this is still wet a little bit, I'm going to go in with some gesso. I like to add gesso to things like this. And what it's going to do is it will kind of fix it, plus it will give me even more of that beautiful like watercolory kind of effect. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and a little bit here. Just like that. Just in spots. It doesn't have to be everywhere, but and really I could just use my fingers, which is probably what I'm going to do. And it's going to fix it in some areas, and some areas it won't. So it's just fun. And I just love how the gesso looks against that background. It's those smooth kind of watercolors looks. Okay. And you could absolutely wait for it to dry, but I'm not going to do that. I figure it can dry once. Very cool. It just gives it kind of an interesting look. And I am just using my fingers. I think I used a brush for the practice one that I did, but I really love it with the... And it kind of softens up the color a bit, gives it even more of kind of a painterly look. So I love that. There we go. Just like that. Okay. Alrighty. So now we are just going to let that dry, and I will be right back. I'm going to dip this right in my brush. We're not done with the gesso though. We're going to use it again. But we will let that dry, and I will come back. Okay guys, so let's continue on with our next step. So we added color, and now I'm going to add some pieces of random tissue paper. So I like to work with it when it's completely open. Just like that. And kind of smooth things down. And then we'll add a few random pieces. So, and I'm not really thinking about where I'm putting them. I'm just kind of putting them where I think they'll look good and where I want them to go. So just use your glue stick. This is not something that you have to use a lot of wet media on. And I love tissue paper. It just kind of blends in with everything. So we can put maybe a random piece there. just like that. And I don't care if it's crinkly a little bit. I just kind of want that beautiful texture that this metallic color will give. Very good. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. Alright. I like adding tissue paper to my work. It just adds a little something. Okay. And I mean, you can go as crazy as you want with this idea. I'm keeping it fairly simple, but you don't have to do that. You can go as crazy as you like. I'm just putting it down randomly, so. Okay, like that. Okay, do I have another piece? Oh, maybe I did, but I don't think that I do. I think I used all my bits. So for these two, we'll just use something else. Let's use a little bit of something else here. Searching through my big collage bag here. So we could use book text. That's kind of painted paper-ish stuff. But I did have something that I thought might be cool. There's a go. Here's my tissue paper. It isn't this pretty, but it says Merry Christmas on it. That would work well. Maybe I'll do... Oh, this one's cool, actually. This is some handmade paper, but I love the texture that it gives to projects, so we'll add little pieces of that too. So I'm just randomly tearing it. Okay, just like that. Let's add a piece like that. These are my front and back covers, so this is the front, that's the back. Okay, and just make sure that things are glued down fairly well, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and the reason why I say you don't have to use wet media is because it's kind of fun, because once you get it to this point, you can just keep going. Okay, so what I have here is that I did a bunch of stamping just with inspirational messages that I liked and quotes and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what we're going to add here. I got these little pads from the dollar store a while ago, and they have little inspirational messages on them, and I have just little bits. So we're going to begin putting those down, but before we do that, I want to add a little bit of stenciling. Now, for the stenciling, I'm actually going to use ink. Now, I'm going to use ink just because it's a medium that I really don't use that often, and I have lots of ink pads and that kind of thing. So I think maybe I'm going to use this one, these little ones though, because they seem to dry really quick. So I'm just kind of going with the color scheme that are kind of on my pages. So we can maybe do a green and a blue. So we're going to go for these guys. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's maybe start with our blue first. Okay, and I have a makeup sponge here. I used it before, as you can tell, because I did kind of a practice of this project for you guys. Okay, and I'm just going to get some random stencils that I think will work well. So kind of go through your stash and see. I think we'll use some Punchinella, and this one's really cool. And then kind of on the same color backgrounds, I'm going to add the stenciling, if that makes sense. So I'll just kind of go through it. And you can go over your papers and stuff. It's very subtle, but it's very pretty. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is really pretty. Very pretty. Okay, and I love that stencil. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm just going to go through all the blues and do that. And quite random, kind of like fishtail kind of stencil. I love it. And you can add as much or as little stenciling as you want. I usually do it like in 3 spots on each little box, but you don't have to do that. Just like that. Okay. Okay, and then let's grab another stencil, another stamp. Very good. I have to refill my stencils here. Okay, let's do this one here, and I really like this kind of aqua color, or this coral color. So let's start out with that one. You just want to get quite a bit on there. And a lot of these stamp sets I found at the thrift store, so it's fun to kind of use them up. Or at yard sales, people have stamp pads left over, so they'd love to give you little things like that. So. And just be a little careful. I mean, you don't want to go over anything wet after you have applied your ink unless you affix it. So I use hairspray to affix everything. I probably won't do that in this one just because I don't mind. I'm not planning on using any wet media, but if I was, then I would do that. And I'm going to copy these and then I will seal them, if that makes sense. And I kind of just love the settle colors of this, so I don't know if I'm going to do any more stamping or stenciling. I think that that's probably enough. It's really pretty. So we're going to kind of put these colors back. So I don't think I need them. Ready? And we're going to give that just 1 second to dry. Those away. And then I can kind of see like where I want to lay things out. So this one, I think maybe I'll put on this background, and I just tore the edge. Be kind to yourself, start now, and then I'm going to put lines here so they can write things that they love about themselves. This one says do one thing every day that makes you happy, so maybe I'll put that there. Or maybe there. Maybe I'll put it against a blue background. So maybe, but I think maybe I'll put it over here. That's what we'll do. And I'm just kind of trying to space things out, if that makes sense. So that I love against the blue background there. And what I like to do is I like to kind of have a quote and then an activity on each page. So like this one would need a quote. Maybe we'll do, life is better when you're laughing, and then that one has shout about it, another great idea, so I kind of made that myself. And then this one we can put, oops, maybe over here, even though I really like it against that blue. So maybe we'll put that there, and we'll put the blue here. I just like it against that background. Okay, and then we'll do follow your bliss, and I know that's 2 things that are listed, but I think that's okay. Alrighty. Guys, go ahead and decline that. Okay, and then we have don't let anyone ruffle your feathers. I don't think I'm going to use that one. And you know what? I think I'm going to not use that one and put the quote here. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the beginning. Okay. So I'm going to be right back. Okay, so now let's put everything down. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the covers, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and just add our glue stick and start to stick things down. Now, one thing that I did forget to do that I really should stop and do is I forgot to add a little bit of black stamping. I just think maybe it will kind of, but I don't know, maybe I won't do the stamping this time. I love stamping though. I'm a stamping kind of girl. And again, we're just going to make sure that everything's nice and glued down. So I'll glue this down and then I can decide if I'm going to stamp or what's going to happen, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Just like that. And we're going to spin it around. And apply a little bit of stuff to it here. And just be careful because those inks will react with water. So if you're using your fingers a lot, and I'm making it just a little bit of off center. There we go, like that. Okay, ready, dream big. And I am tacking things down, but really you don't need to because you're not really going to use the original. You're going to mostly use the copy, so. You know, so you'll take it to your copier and you can copy it and send it to your friends, which is awesome. There we go. Just like that. And I'll do this, like so. Very cool. I love that. Okay, so I like that. I think it looks good. So now I'm going to kind of go through my stickers and kind of see. I thought about maybe using this for the cover. Maybe one of these hearts, and I got this from the dollar store. So I'm thinking maybe, which one would work? Ooh, I kind of like this one for the cover. Maybe not. What can you do, my love? This one's pretty. Love, hope, and dream. But I think that I want some texture underneath it. So for that, I'm going to add a little bit of my washi tape. This might be pretty. And I'm kind of putting all three things together to kind of see what I like best. Like that one. No, I think I like this one. So we're going to go ahead and just stick that down maybe. And maybe we won't put it right in the center. I think that I'll do it off center. Oops, messed that up. Okay. And washi tape is a great addition to your little book. So, alrighty, just like that. Okay. Do I like that better? Yes, I do. I like that a lot better. Okay, so we can go ahead and kind of stick that down. And I have my detailed scissors somewhere here. Wherever they are. And I will trim the edges and all that good stuff after this is done. Just like that. Okay, like that. So I really like that, but I think that it needs a word or something else. So I have these stickers. Maybe say laugh, love, dream. Maybe we'll do create. There we go. I like that. So that'll be my cover that will say create, which I love. Okay, and then let's add something to the back. Maybe we could do the be great. That's kind of cool. That's a good message, isn't it? But again, I think we're going to add a little bit of washi tape. And then I'll add be great. I love that. I love how this looks. Okay, so now let's go around and just add kind of the rest of our kind of little goodies that we want to add. So I think that one of these hearts would be really pretty here. So I'm going to stick that right there. You can add washi tape. You can kind of do your thing here. So sorry, I'm stuff all over the place here. I've been making these. I'm a little bit addicted, so I have stuff all over. This washi tape, and the washi tape that I'm trying to get to is not so easy to get to. Okay, so that's a little uneven, but that's okay. I think that gives it some charm. So we're just gonna add just a little bit of washi tape right up here, okay, like so. And we can add some down here. And let's add some maybe there. And I just do my washi tape. I don't mind if it's like roughly torn, but I really don't like that piece there. So we're going to get rid of that. But I do like it here. Sometimes you just have to play with things and see. That way it looks kind of like it's tacked down with the washi tape. I love that. And I want a piece here. Maybe this with the dots. I like that one. That'd be good. Like, ooh, I kind of like that it's like that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Stick a little piece there, and let's stick and I'm still kind of remembering my rules of 3, if that makes sense. You know, just make sure that things look balanced to your eyes. That's the important part. So I like that. I think that's really pretty the way that it is. Now let's go over to this one here. I'm not really feeling that edge there. So let's see what we can do about that. And it might just be that it needs another component, and I do need to draw some stuff. Okay. I really need my scissors for this one, because it's kind of like the clear glassine kind of stuff, so it doesn't just tear like normal washi tape. You have to fiddle with it a bit. And normally these take me about an hour to make, like a good solid hour, like, so, you know, it takes a little bit of time, but I think that it's totally worth it. It's worth the effort. And they are really fun to give to your friends. They really are. Okay, that's good. I love this by itself. I think that I'm cool with that. This I need to make lines on. So if you want, you can kind of you know, try it first and see if you like it. What I'm trying to say, you could like sketch it out first, the lines if you want. But what I'll do is I'll just grab kind of a heavy duty little thingy there, whatever that's called. And I'm actually going to use this neon pink. And we are going to make some lines so the person can draw right on them. So we'll go ahead. This is just a paint pen, Deco Arts one, which I love, in a beautiful neon color. Just going to give it just a little bit of space there. I can just write a few things. Just make a few little notes about things that are special about them. And I mean, oops, oh my gosh, oopsie, 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 oopsie. I made a oopsie. You see what I did? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see here. Alrighty. Let's see if I can. Oh, well. Actually, I think maybe I'm just going to let it dry like that. That's what we'll do. I pushed too hard. And I made it run a little bit. But I think I can continue on. I'm still making an oopsie. That's okay. And as I said, I'm trying to leave these blank because I want you guys to be able to add whatever you want to them. So, but you could, I mean, you could add splatters and you could just do your thing, like doodle and have a good time, but I'm leaving them a little bit plainer than I normally would. So guys, that is it, right? So I just need that to dry. I was trying not to use wet media, and who would think that it would be my paint pen that's giving me trouble, but it totally is. Okay, so I just like to go around the edges and make sure everything's glued down. It's good, but I can't move that right now. I gotta wait for that to dry. Otherwise it will run on me. Okay, so I am going to let this dry, and I will come back and explain to you how you can help, how you can finish it off further if you want. Just some suggestions, but this is done for me. I really love how it turned out. It's really cool. So I'm going to be right back after this dries. Hello, my wonderful patrons. So look, it's all done. It's really cool. I love the way it turned out. That's all dry too, and it's just absolutely adorable. So this will be your printable for next month. I made you guys one for this month already. But look at how cute. And I'll get that scanned and copied for you guys. Look at that. Isn't it fun? And you can just print it off and fold it. And you have a cute little book, a little journal that you can treasure and write things on that make you happy. So I really hope that you enjoyed this project. Let me know what you think, and thank you guys so much for your patience with me this month. I'm sorry it's been such a crazy month, but I'm so happy and grateful to have each one of you guys. And I will see you for next week's video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.